So in 2010, I was dating a girl and I was living uptown Denver, and we were talking about music and stuff, and she decided that the contribution I had made was too easy for me. So, seeing as how I had my red card and she knew that my parents didn't like me smoking marijuana, she actually called my dad, and my dad called in a wellness check because clearly the guy's mentally ill. This happened. This was in, that's right, Thanksgiving of 2010. This is up in Vail. They drove me down because I started to notice some issues, and I was pointing out issues I was having with my vision and with the way people were kind of lying to me, to my face. So they took me to Penrose St. Francis in the Springs. My dad used to work there for years and years and years. He knows everybody there, and none of them like marijuana. And I got a stack of paper to prove it. So first thing you need to do is forgive yourself, because clearly you're bipolar. You're having a reaction when people piss you off, and that's not normal. Maybe you went through some traumatic stress. Well, maybe you knew someone that survived cancer. Never fun for anyone. Now, you're on a 72-hour hold. You can't do anything. All those recordings you made with your personal recording device are saved on your girlfriend's computer because your hard drive got zapped. You can reminisce about that. You're going to go through some grief. There's a lot of loss there. But does it really need to be end of life? There's some triggers involved here. Stress, like loud conversations, being confined in small spaces with butt-to-butt people. Pepsi Center is really, really bad for me. There's a support group for people that don't like crowds. Get together in a group, talk about how you don't like crowds. Because clearly it's a problem with your self-esteem. Here's some medication for you to take. We got some Depakote and we got some Seroquel. Now, they would not give that to me in Jefferson County Jail when I asked for it. So I got in touch. At this point, this was the 29th of 2010, November. The second trip I had was the end of December. This is when Mary called up, specifically my dad, and had them take me to Denver General. I had a red card. He did not approve of me having the red card, so I got in touch with the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. I did not know they were Mormon-based. They checked me in. This is Denver General. I asked for this because I knew my rights were being violated at the time. Well, you don't have money. They had me sign something that said the federal government was allowed to oversee my care during my stay at Denver General and my follow-up care. I didn't want to sign that at the time, and I don't have a copy of it. They told me it was required because I was uninsured. I didn't have any health insurance. My Cobra insurance had ran out from my last job. That's bullshit. That's a civil rights violation. So moving on. This is the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. Got in touch with them. This is their discharge information. Some of the notes I put on here were hilarious too. This is my leaving prescription. Walking prescription, whatever you want to call it. Now, clearly this is false imprisonment when I had to get paperwork filed before the 31st. get my copyright sent through the U.S. Copyright Office. And you can't go anywhere. You're a prisoner. So if you guys have the time, you can read this. I wrote these things when I was sitting around, waiting to be deemed fit for society. That handwriting's kind of familiar. And the only contact I had, that's trust. Some more journaling, more journaling. So breathe deep. There's something wrong with you. Here's some pills. Once again, they won't give those to you in Jefferson County because you don't have a current prescription with Walgreens. Now it says putting up boundaries is healthy and safe. But my family will tell me that because I'm agoraphobic, there's something wrong with me. Because I don't like having negative energy shoved at me, there's something wrong with me. Something must have happened, when you were growing up. Something logical to explain this. Or in your later years, maybe. You're crazy. You didn't make any beats that are being used on the radio. You just don't know enough. Your psychology degree didn't teach you. And once again, you need to build your self-esteem. You need to start taking care of yourself. Maybe you had parental neglect or rejection, overprotectiveness or overindulgence. But, you have some basic needs. Here's some of them. What I'm willing to do differently? Who are you? Well, you can improve your self-esteem different ways. Seems I was doing that. You might have a bout with recidivism. And we understand smoking and tobacco, it's tough to quit. Real addicting. We've got pills to help you quit. Chantix, Wellbutrin, same thing. You do have rights as a patient. That's about it. What are your rights as a patient? Work on your self-esteem, you know, and sometimes you got to practice. Call this guy. Good drummer.